Feeling the need for change is at the heart of your ability to make it happen. Welcome to Turning Inward. I'm Vivian Carrasco, your teacher, mentor, midwife, and host of this amazing podcast. Together, we're going to navigate our interior lives. We're going to unearth our own personal truth, our insights, and our inner knowing. Change what you see in the world, how you make decisions, and the way you lead yourself and others. Welcome back to the Turning Inward podcast. This is where you and I meet in that yearning, in the seeking to understand this world and yourself better. This journey requires us to let go of our need for doing, fitting in, and looking for validation outward. And instead enjoy being, belonging, and awakening to that deep, mysterious world within. If you have comments, questions, or feedback as you listen to this episode, feel free to email them to me at viviancarrasco.com. Thank you for listening on whatever platform you're listening. If you want to jump over to the podcast webpage, just head over to my digital home at viviancarrasco.com. Today's going to be interesting. It's a little bit different format, and I like changing things up, as you've probably noticed over the years. I do what feels right at the time, and that evolves. So, just like we do as humans, we might look the same on the outside after we've gone through that sort of adolescent, young adulthood, but we're really always growing up. We're just growing from the inside, not from the outside. God willing, I won't be shrinking any shorter than I already am. So if you follow me on different social media channels, or if you're part of the love letter, newsletter, regular updates that I send out via email, you're probably aware that I'm writing a book. If you're not, I want to welcome you to that world by reading and ad-libbing the introduction. And also mention to you that you can journey with me as I write the book in a behind-the-scenes kind of thing. So I have a set of emails that'll go out to you, and I update them irregularly, just letting you in on where we are in the journey and what's coming up next, or what fear or obstacle is I'm battling with at the moment. And that link will be in the show notes. It'll also be on the webpage to the podcast. So pop in your email address and journey with me. So Love Being Human is the title of the book. The subtitle is The Key to Harmony Within You. It's partly memoir, part inspiration, part practical instruction. Love Being Human gives you a roadmap. It gives you a path that you can travel so that you can love being human. And we do that by cultivating our inner joy and our own unique truth through a direct experience. That's exactly what love being human is. So on our little adventure, our time together today, I'm going to read you the introduction. It's been written, edited, rewritten, re-edited, and as I started to browse through it before I hit record, there are actually some things that I would add, change, and that's the thing about writing. It is what it is in that moment. Everything continues to evolve. Nothing stays static. I'm losing my breath as I attempt to read this. I'm not sure if that's from anxiety or not. So I begin the introduction with a quote from Leonard Cohen. How can I begin anything new with all of yesterday in me? Even though I knew I would write the journey that I went on, I didn't know when I would write it, and I always had doubts that I could. The doubt in my ability to do it is gone. I have confidence that it will happen. I just don't know on what timing. It's not like I've set a date and I'm working furiously, hustling towards meeting that deadline, but it will happen. And I feel it in my bones that it'll happen because I'm turning over a new leaf. And so I can see the learning and the journey and the experience as it's unfolded over the last 6 years with a bit of distance. And I think when you write about an experience and you can see it with that distance, it's cleaner. You know, even if you're writing about a painful experience, it still feels cleaner because you've had some time between you and it. And so, in a way, the book closes a chapter on that piece of it, because I really feel the evolution of within university, of the teaching, and of my experience with clients in mentoring growing. And so it's pretty exciting. I feel like I've finally gotten my sea legs. I've learned to crawl and walk, and now I'm feeling confident in my grounding. Yeah, and it's only taken, about a decade. So I begin with that quote. How can I begin anything new with all of yesterday in me? Love being human, the key to harmony within you is giving you the roadmap, the path that I traveled, not as a way for you to travel my path, but for me to share the practical insights of how you can cultivate an inner joy through your own direct experience. And that's what turning inward is. It's always been that. That's always been the beginning, even before I knew what it was. So I'm going to read this as it is, and I'm going to fill in parts. If you decide to join me in this behind the scenes as I write, you'll get the full introduction as a PDF. If you'd just like to get the introduction as a PDF, then just send me an email at vivian@viviancarrasco.com, and I'd be happy to send it to you. Is this really it? What am I missing here? Why aren't I happy? For my whole life, I've been an achiever. By the age of 35, I'd achieved and accomplished absolutely everything I'd ever wanted in my life, and more than I ever imagined. In return, I expected a feeling of completion, of accomplishment, of confidence, of certainty. But I stood there in that place in my life and looked around, and all I could feel was sadness, which led to feelings of guilt. How could I not just be grateful for everything and let it be? Maybe I did it wrong. Maybe there's something else. Ah, that's it. There must be something else. So I resigned from my consulting job. I finished my doctorate degree. I mothered my eldest through finishing high school and leaving home. My husband retired from the military and we moved. And through all of this, the guilt and pain persisted. Why aren't I happy? Did I make the right decisions when I was climbing all those ladders? Should I change direction again? The uncertainty was killing me. I added self-medication with wine to the medication I was already taking for anxiety and depression. The goal? To stop feeling anything. On the surface, I was a high-functioning, moving around the world with a smile on my face. On the inside, an emotional tornado was tearing me apart. I was being ripped constantly between what I thought I should do and had always done, and something else. Except I didn't know what that something else was. And that unraveling went on for over 5 years. Finally, in 2013, I turned 40, and I made the decision to do something about my pain. In October of that year, I went on a retreat, 17 days of silence, nowhere to run, no way to numb the thoughts. I had to sit with them. I had to sit in them. That retreat opened the door for me to stop running away from what I feared, and instead move towards my own joy. As I crossed the threshold into a new way of being, I was given a set of instructions to share with you. Love being human. So I'm going to ad-lib a little bit here. Over the years, people say, is it possible? Can I really love being human? Yeah, you can. Our default wiring puts us in a compare and despair, sort of a fear, flight. Am I safe? But you can love being human. You can appreciate and find joy, even in the midst of suffering. The other thing that I want to ad-lib here is that this little retreat that I talked about and that was edited, and I love my editor. Thank you, Kelly. You did a beautiful job. It was a self-made retreat. It had a little bit of help, obviously, from the government shutdown of 2013. But it was definitely a choice, a decision to just stop asking what everybody wanted of me and to do what it is I felt I needed to do, and that started with the most simple things, like knowing when I was hungry and knowing when I was tired. So back to the actual introduction. Love being human is my version of a timeless truth, building upon wisdom from deep within and around the world. It translates itself into a promise and a process, both of which I'll share with you. This is where you and I meet. In the yearning, in that seeking for witnessing what wants to happen through us, deepening the level of who we are and how we serve. This book is a sharing of my journey, the shifting from a certainty of my roles and my place in the world, standing at the threshold that I had to cross, this doorway that I had to step through, to allow a new way of being to be born. My life today is so different from the life, the transition, the transformation I was going through back then. I found that you kind of have to get what you thought you always wanted before you realize that it's really not what you needed. That this shift is a deepening. It takes you sort of beyond that outer level, that initial fitting into society viewpoint, where you're only having those sort of surface conversations, into a deepening. That deepening gives you the meaning that you were looking for. It instills in you that sense of fulfillment and purpose that you knew was there somewhere. And honestly, it gives you your confidence back. Confidence plus a sense of direction. Now, the shift in the sense of direction is super important because you're no longer moving away from what you fear. You're instead pivoting towards what you love and what brings you joy. And that's a completely different way to travel through life. You can find harmony within. There can be an alignment between your thinking, feeling, and your being, so that everything is moving in just the same way. It's smooth and it's easy, just like that wave carrying you out. So your success is no longer what people see on the outside, even though you'll more than likely, continue to be just as successful, if not more successful. It'll just be, instead of ambition that's driving you, you'll be pulled forward through aspiration. You're grounding into a deeply rooted sense of being. You'll be on a path that you believe in. You'll make your own path, not just follow the leader or what you see being done, but knowing and sensing to your core that it's for you to do, that it's your doing. It's your way to give your greatest in the world. You'll do work that you're proud of. You won't be acquiring and getting and fulfilling from outside to have more or to fill that missing spot, because the meaning will be there. Imagine moving with a clear sense of purpose, a crystal clear vision, a deep knowing of who you are and what you want in a life that is full of ease and joy, meaning and purpose, instead of that muddy, unclear middle. I have a better relationship with myself, and it's deepened and clarified the relationships that I have with others. I have a greater sense of freedom, the freedom to do rather than a freedom from. This is the freedom you're choosing, to have a well-lived life and create a better world for you and the people that matter most to you. There's a way to improve the quality of your human journey from your head to your heart. The journey requires a letting go of your need for doing, fitting in, and looking outward. Looking for outward validation, and instead enjoy being, belonging, and awakening to the deep, simple, and mysterious world within. To do that, you'll have to become more curious, to establish priorities that are aligned with your deepest values, and experience the energy, power, and inspiration that comes from the silence of your heart. The next section is Who Am I? It'll feel a little, so this is an ad lib here. It'll feel a little bit odd to read this to you, but we'll see how it goes. Who am I? I'm a master certified life coach who's trained extensively in expanding self-awareness, the complexities of the human psyche, the science and intelligence of the body, and universal spiritual wisdom traditions. I also come from a lineage of curanderas, indigenous mestizo healers for their community. I have been teaching adults in group programs and workshops since 1997. Prior to developing the Love Being Human method, I conferred my doctoral program, specializing in leadership development. I had a long and successful career working with business and industry, building local, regional, and national collaborative partnerships. Here's an ad lib. My pinnacle was actually an international partnership, which is cool. But as I found, that success didn't make me happy. It's now my mission to teach Love Being Human, to help women and super cool dudes create a beautiful, inspired life by giving them a vision, a process, and integrative practices to move from turmoil to a personal, spiritual, inner transformation. Love Being Human is a simple 3-step system that provides a clear framework and practical strategies to inspire you to take action and move through your self-transformation. It's a guide towards your own innate joy as you learn through your own experience, led by your curiosity, how to love being human. Learning Love Being Human is a process that deepens your connection to yourself and between others. It's a way to guide you back to your own intuitive wisdom. Each chapter will illustrate the principles of Love Being Human that I've personally applied and explored in my own life with my clients and in my group programs that I lead. There are also practical tools you can use to calm your doubt and build your belief muscle by developing your own unique habits of the heart. It seems very simple. 3 steps, love being human. But it's also the work of our lives. You'll see your own experience in a very special way, as a deep, lived experience. You'll know the difference between what your mind wants and what your heart needs. I'll take you through exactly how to interrupt negative mental patterns and how to shift your mindset, how to open your heart, and how to connect deeper. I'll teach you specific tools that'll give you just enough space to center yourself and bring forward your next best choice. Love Being Human is a system of integration, an infinite loop that starts and never stops. You can start at any point, but I like to start at its base, which is our humanity. This book is divided into 3 parts, each with a few short chapters. The first section focuses on expanding your understanding and awareness of your body. In this section, you'll learn how to notice, name, and decipher your own bodily sensations. There's an intellect in the emotions we feel. We begin by living an experience, allowing and translating our feelings and sensations to truly understand their meaning. By understanding your design and how you make decisions as a human, you can replace bad habits and negative mental patterns with something better. You'll move from competition and comparison to an awareness of what's best for you, drawn forward by your own inner wisdom. We'll explore the breath and mindful movement as integrated practices to bring your attention to your body. The second part revolves around being. It focuses on awakening through presence and prayer. Spirituality is unique to every individual, but in my experience, we find ourselves drawn towards a kinder and more relational sense of the sacred, a spiritual life rooted in love and belonging. In this space, we explore the wonder and mystery of life with a focus on the sacred in everyday experiences. We awaken through a spiritual path, practice in our daily life. These experiences transform into spiritual practices because they cultivate awareness, an expanded awareness that shifts your relationship to your thoughts, allowing them to flow without being carried away by them. The third part looks at love as interdependence, a connection and sharing of energy and information flow. You're not an individual living in your body separate from the world and the humans around you. Aligning your actions and intentions by the belief that you are interconnected shifts you from that trap of busyness to the depths of your true nature. You become deeply rooted in belonging, more authentically creative, connected to yourself, others, and nature, doing work you're proud of, creating a future you want to see. Each chapter builds on the key skills and central principles of curiosity and exploration of what's possible. The integrative practices that are offered are tools that you can use now in your practical day-to-day life to move your knowing from your head to your heart through your hands. Life is your classroom, and experience is your teacher. What I'm offering you is a roadmap, a path for you to travel, so that you can love being human again by cultivating your inner joy and unique truth through a direct experience. This transformational process will help you achieve harmony within you and between you and the people you love. And so, my beloveds, that is the introduction chapter to Love Being Human, the key to harmony within you. I hope you'll join me behind the scenes as I continue to write. Again, there will be a link in the show notes, or you can send me an email at vivian@viviancarrasco.com, and I'll send you that link. You can also text me at 760-576-LOVE, which is 5683. So this is a new exciting thing that I just thought of. 760-576-LOVE. That's 5683. If you text me and ask for the introduction, I'll send you a link where you can pop in your email address and get it downloaded. 760-576-5683, which is the 4 words love. I'm so happy that I have that phone number. If it's easier for you, email me at vivian@viviancarrasco.com. Thank you for sharing your most precious resource with me today, and that is your time. It's honestly, it's past my bedtime is what it is, but it is my honor to journey with you and to be in your ear right now. If you have any comments or feedback, curiosities, or questions, you know how to reach me. Until next time, my beloveds. If something needs to change and you don't quite know what it is yet, tune in and turn inward. I host an online learning community where we can figure it out together. It feels like a little family, and it's a place where you can be supported and offer support, because togetherness sparks change. Visit my digital home at viviancarrasco.com to learn more.